Smart.
For me, it was a total of 3 years. But yeah, I got damn. I mean, those 3 years were a freaking knockout of the park. I mean, talk about. I mean, if you, at least for me, a high school kid who, wanted a lot of athletic experience. Didn't really care for the academics. Yeah, I was just not into it when I was in high school. Um, but also surrounded by a great group of guys. I mean, it was a dream come true for me. I couldn't have picked a better high school, if it if it was granted by Mother Mary herself. Like this was, yeah, for me it was one of those kind of life changing, something I'll take for the rest of my life kind of thing. So, yeah.
Okay.
But the 3 years. So,
what stands out as like your favorite memory? Like the one thing that you miss the most?
I think for me, the thing that I miss the most is probably the camaraderie. The people that were involved with, especially the 3 years that I was there. The specific people involved with those 3 years probably had a huge impact that echoed into the remainder of my life so far. I actually remember, I was thinking about this the other day, the drive back home at the end of the 3rd year, which was, I think, July 5th or something, like the day after the 4th. And that night before, we had been shooting little bottle rockets at each other and just throwing firecrackers all over the place. I remember I was completely deaf for like three days after that. But on the ride home, the day after that, it was tough going. It was tough leaving the place, knowing I probably wouldn't be back. I probably didn't see a lot of the faces and stuff. So it was, I think for me, the camaraderie, the people that were there, really made it, the best that it could have been.
It's pretty cool. So did you join in 9th grade and graduate?
Yeah, so in 2006, it would have been the start of my high school career. And then back in the day, we did the 3 year for the high school window instead of the 4 years. I think 4 years became a thing a year or two after I'd left. But to be honest, as I said, the whole academic thing was not really my forte. So going to a school that was also just 3 years of high school was an extra bonus on my end. Like I didn't want to do school and all that shit.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that was a little bit attractive to me too when I went there and I heard that they did 4 years of high school and 3. I'm like, oh, okay.
Super enticing, and it actually worked to my benefit, even coming out of the high school, because when I went into college, I literally had turned 17 2 weeks before my first day of college, and I really didn't know and really didn't take advantage of it back then. But the college girls really liked a younger kid in their classes. So I could have optimized a little bit more, but I was just getting out of the mindset of becoming a priest.
Yeah.
So
it
never really dawned on me until a couple years later.
Yeah. I think most of us can relate to that, not being so industrious. Right out of the gate, there was a lot of opportunity. People are intrigued by that story, and then you just never capitalize on it. Yeah. I feel that.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely is an added bonus to that whole story. Oh man, that's hilarious. Sometimes when you think back on that, it's just like, damn. Oh well.
How hard was the transition out, like back into real world for you?
I would say it was the first year and a half to 2 years of college was different. I think the ability for me, I would say, to converse with the female population was more stubbed than anything else. And I was involved with a lot of different groups. Like I was in the choir, I was in the soccer team. So it's not like I didn't have the opportunities to, to converse with the female population. I think it was just so different for me that it could have been better. It wasn't terrible, but I could definitely tell I wasn't as confident in my abilities for the first 2 years. The second 2 years, it wasn't too bad because at that point, I had pretty much just shown myself for who I was. I really didn't. I didn't hide a lot. Like I said, I was pretty active in college, and people started to know you after 2 years. On the male side, it wasn't too bad. Like I said, the soccer scene was pretty. I was used to the whole soccer scene. I would even say, even in the choir, like I got along with the male choir guys, just because I had been with, other male singers for the previous 3 years and even before that. So it wasn't too bad. But I do remember, like in my third year of college, as I was looking to like the freshmen and the newer kids coming into Walsh University at that point, I was like reflecting, myself in the way that they were conducting themselves, and I was like, okay, I wasn't too bad. Like these guys don't know what they're doing either. Like, they're in
this is a new world to everyone.
Like on a Tuesday, and yeah, so I didn't feel too bad with my the quality of stuff, but yeah, there was definitely a learning curve for me, but I didn't chalk it up as a loss, especially like I said, especially when I saw some of the newer guys coming in 3 years later. It was like, all right, like 50% of these guys don't know what they're here for, and it was like, oh, okay, so it wasn't too bad.
Oh, that's good. Are there any hobbies or interests that you picked up because of your time at Shaz that you continue today?
Yeah, I think soccer was definitely one.
Okay.
But after college, I really didn't get into the whole soccer phase. I knew I wasn't going to go pro or even semi-pro or anything like that, so soccer kind of dropped off. I will say in the last year, in the last 8 months, I'm involved now in the 30-plus, soccer team with a bunch of guys, old guys, just hobbling around on a normal sized soccer field. So
yeah,
that's kind of coming back, which is nice. But aside from that, nothing like huge. Smaller things like the way I fold my clothes and make the bed, or
would you say it's better than that dresser behind me?
I would say, yeah.
Just check.
Actually,
it's a hard bar to me. It's a hard bar to me.
That was one of the things that I like carried on, especially like the folding of the clothes. I was particularly anal about that, and there were a few girlfriends, and even my wife right now, she would tell me, and probably tell you guys as well, that I fold the clothes the exact same way, and they come in squares.
Yep.
And they line one side, the next one lined.
Yeah.
Lined.
Underwear the same way. Underwear, you fold it up that way.
Yeah.
Do you do socks the same way still?
Yeah, I fold one into the other.
No.
No, that's tough.
Hot dog there.
Oh man.
Like all of my clothes are the exact same way. Even I don't do this very often, but when I do have a hard collar,
you'll fold it that way.
I fold it, but also I'll iron the hard little fold flap.
Yeah.
Into the folds, so that it's tidy. But yeah, that I don't know. That worked to my advantage too, because that was one of the things that Adrienne, my wife, she kind of likes, and plus I don't know. It's just easier for me knowing that hey, clothes are folded, ready to go at a moment's notice.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah.
I wish I'd kept that.
I hang everything.
Yeah.
Not folding anything anymore.
Yeah.
Socks and underwear get thrown into a drawer.
Yeah.
the miscellaneous. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll figure it out.
Yeah, when I
Hilarious.
No one's
when
gonna
I
see
do
him
fold
anyway.
my clothes, I fold them. Yeah, yeah. I fold them legionary style, but right now I have no clothes folded. They're all over the floor, out of view.
You purposely just strewn them all over the place. Just
Yeah.
There might be
I have
some
my-
in the shower.
No. I know.
Okay.
They're all contained.
Oh, okay.
But it's a mess.
Organized
Keeping pile,
chaos.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
I got a clean pile and a dirty pile, and I just
Yep.
basically move them over.
And then when the clean pile's been sitting there for like 3 weeks, then it just automatically goes to the dirty pile.
It gets rotated out. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
No.
How long have you been married, Gio?
We just got our third year.
Oh,
Our third year done in August.
nice.
So yeah, we're working on our fourth year. So we got 2 kids. Oldest is girl. She just turned 2 in June, and then our son is turning 1 next month. So we got him. We had them back to back, which is
Yeah.
Congrats.
kind of an interesting story in itself. I will say,
Is it?
I've heard, from a lot of couples that we've talked to, the year or so before they have kids, they really appreciate that year of kind of finding out who they are as a married couple, kind of finding out a little bit about themselves as a married individual, so on and so forth. We didn't get that opportunity. We didn't get that luxury. I've done the math, and I've done a lot of thinking and kind of logical deducing from the day of our wedding, like the night of our wedding, and the time that we realized we were pregnant, and it had to have been like the night of, or the day after that we got pregnant, because literally 9 months after our wedding day, we were parents.
Damn.
Like to the day.
It was
Yeah.
It was like to the day, and it was we didn't get that year of finding out who we are, but
Yeah, you went straight into the pregnancy bonding.
Yeah.
yeah. We went to our honeymoon, and like the last week of our honeymoon, my wife was, she was tired, and she didn't feel very well. So it did put a little bit of a damper on our honeymoon. But in the back of my mind, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, Gio, you done it. Like you freaking just,
You did your job.
Your fate, Gio.
Yeah.
I did my job.
No one can say you didn't consummate the marriage.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Now they all know.
Not yet.
now they all know. It was funny though, because I remember having the conversation with like my mom and dad, and my siblings who were all there. They're like, "Hey, we're pregnant," and then I could see in like my sister's eyes, she started doing the math and all that, and then she was like, "Were you guys pregnant before you're married?" And I was like, "No." Like if you
Yeah.
I had to explain it to her how these things work and everything. But it was one of those things where it's like, man, my first pregnancy, and I'm already getting accused and everything. Not that it would have mattered or anything. It was just like,
Yeah.
that topic came up.
Yeah. We're gonna title this episode though "Premarital Affair?" question mark.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So
We'll never know.
Yeah. Just to confuse the audience a little bit.
Yeah. But then
That's-
the second pregnancy. This is I don't know. Both of our pregnancies have been they've kind of been interesting. But the second pregnancy, I had it in my mind when it came time for me to become a father, that I wanted to get however many kids that I wanted out of the way. Like I wanted them back to back. I didn't want like 2 or 3 years in between each. It was just going to be one after the other. I failed to include my wife in that part of the thinking. So it was one of those things where
Did you pull out? Did you? No. What?
Exactly. Certain actions were taken, and a certain
Yeah, I
clauses,
did.
exactly like that. And then like 3 or 4 weeks later, she's like, You didn't, did you? And I'm like, I'm sorry. I didn't. But yeah. But now, now we got 2 kids, and we got the boy, the girl, and I think after a conversation with her, we're set. I don't think we're gonna. We're probably not gonna grow very much after that.
Yeah, well, it is difficult nowadays to even like 2 kids that's going to be tough. I mean, I'm sure you'll be fine, but that's still a commitment, and it's a lot of financial responsibility besides all the emotional and
Oh, for
other
sure.
things that go into it. But hey, good luck.
It's a lot of fun. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Spencer and I don't have any experience with that. We've been.
So I gotta put in my
kids yet,
advice
huh?
too. Not kidding.
We're not even close. Not close. It would break either of us right now, basically. Like,
yeah, we would not do well.
no.
That's hilarious. Jake, I think from our conversation with you, my conversation with you, you had 2 kids too, right? Boy and girl.
Yep. Boy and a girl, 1 and 2 and done. So.
Yeah.
And yours. I forget if you were telling me that the girl came first or the boy came first.
Yeah. So my daughter's 5, and then my son is a year and a half. So.
Crazy. Already a year and a half.
I know. It's been fun.
I can't believe the daughter's already 5.
Yeah.
I mean, she's.
Me either.
The more that my kids are starting to grow, the more that I view them as like small adults already. Like
Oh, just wait.
Probably not. Yeah, probably not talking nearly as well as your 5-year-old, but I mean, she just jabbers away at just nonsense and just walking and has an attitude and all of it. It's like, oh, you're like like a little adult.
Wait till they're 5 and they really get an attitude and tell you what they feel.
Oh, really?
Oh, it's so much fun.
I can't wait. So is she like a daddy's girl?
Would you say she is a daddy's girl? Yeah.
Depends on what she wants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She knows I'll give in his ear. To her,
Oh,
but-
okay. That's how the dynamic is. Okay,
Yeah.
that's a good family dynamic.
Awesome.
Yeah.
But
I know.
it's
I know.
fun,
Mom's gonna say no, so go straight to dad.
pretty much.
That's how our family was too. Growing up, it was always
Yup.
dad's gonna say yes. We're going grocery shopping. It's gonna be a party tonight.
Yep.
Exactly.
Pizza
You know.
party. Yep.
Yeah.
Heck
When
yes.
mom goes, it's just vegetables and meat and like the things that we need: bread, milk.
Yeah.
Really
You're not
boring
getting any
stuff.
Twinkies.
Yeah.
What is that stuff?
Not getting it. Yeah. Yeah. Not getting any Twinkies. Not getting any Dunkaroos. Not getting anything fun. No Pop Tarts. None of the fun
It's all
stuff.
for business, not pleasure.
Yeah. 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 She's talking about a budget. Like what? Dad doesn't know about this budget.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Dad doesn't know about the budget until the card declines.
Yeah. Then he remembers.
And then he goes to the wife, like, what the heck? What's going on?
Remember that
I
Target order?
thought that was a new purse you had.
Exactly. The Target orders. The daily packages arriving on the
From Amazon.
front porch from Amazon. I know you're not making this much.
Yeah. What are we? Royalty now?
Exactly.
You'd think it.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. Where do you live now?
I am in Ohio, Wadsworth, which is
Okay.
about an hour or so south of Cleveland. Most people don't know where Wadsworth is.
I didn't. I was pretending.
Pretty familiar with that. But,
Yeah. We nodded along a little bit.
Yeah.
yeah, the good old state of
I
Ohio.
barely know where Cleveland is. Sorry. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
there's really not much in Ohio. It's actually one of the battles.
Cleveland is west, northwest,
northeast actually. So,
northeast. Okay, yeah, other side. So
northeast.
okay.
And then on the
Sorry.
other side it would be Toledo.
The other
Toledo
west.
would be- northwest.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's a nice
Okay.
little spot. You know, I've got the house. I got a pretty decent sized yard for the Wadsworth area, and certainly not 160 acres or whatever Bodman's sitting on. But it's
Yeah.
it's a good little.
Hey, we can't all
to-
be Bodman.
Yeah, the kids are. They got enough space to do stuff and all that. But, yeah, it's nice. It's nice.
That's good.
Are
Yeah,
you
yeah.
Are you out there? You grilling and stuff? You
Yeah,
cooking?
yeah, grilling. We have our.
Nice.
One of the cool things about the house when we were buying it was they did not include like several key factor pictures in like the Zillow or whatever. So when we went to look at the house, we were under the impression that it was probably going to be a bit small and you know it was just kind of a standard house. But when we got here, the entire basement was finished, and the outside deck, which is huge. I don't even know how many square feet, but it's huge. Was not included in the picture. So we walked it out there and was like, oh, this is a huge deck. You know, it's like we have like a second dining room out there. You know, with the umbrella, and we got a fireplace out there, a kid area with
Ooh.
their like kitchen set, a slide, and all that. And then I got a barbecue place all on the deck. So it's like it's huge.
That's nice.
So it was kind of
That's
nice
awesome.
when we walked in, and it was probably one of the selling points, at least for me, you know, going in there, finished basement, huge deck, big yard. I was like, okay, yeah, this is something that I can live with for the next 7 years or so.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What do you do for work? Sorry, you already said it.
Yeah, so I'm a data analyst with First Energy, and what they do is obviously they provide power for about 5 neighboring states: Ohio, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Maryland, West Virginia, and a little sliver of New York. But yeah, I basically just analyze data anywhere from like movement within the company, hiring, and there's like a couple programs that I deal with directly, programs that take college kids and kind of give them a career path in 2 different fields. One of them is a lineman, and then the other one is an engineer. So I do a lot of analysis between those 2 programs, and then other things such like department budgets and like I guess safety metrics, which include, you know, because everyone that you know, everyone on the line or in the field has, I guess, the aptitude for, you know, electric shock or life-changing events or whatever. So we keep track of those. If there's any incidences or accidents that occur on the field, you know, I report those to directors and vice presidents, so on and so forth. So all that to say, I'm basically sitting in front of a computer, literally reading tens of thousands of lines of data on Excel. So it can get pretty tedious and kind of boring after a while. But yeah, it does the job and pays the bills. So I'm not complaining.
Yeah.
Do you get to work from home, or do you have to go into an office?
Yes, yeah. Once the pandemic hit, they sent us all home and haven't wanted us back. So I'm all right with that.
Good.
And
Yeah.
it's looking like
Nice.
that's probably going to be the new norm, you know. So
Hmm.
the way that they're
Yeah.
talking.
Do you miss the camaraderie at all?
Oh, yeah.
Office camaraderie?
Oh yeah. I have to be like, I have to watch the way I say that, because all of the other coworkers in my department, they're like, they don't want to go back to the office. They absolutely just love working from home and everything. And I'm the only one that says, hey, I actually like seeing your faces. I like, you know, talking to you, you know, and seeing your reactions and all that. And they're all just like, shut up.
Yeah.
Like, no, you don't. Like, just
Don't ruin this for us. Don't ruin this for us.
We have a good thing going here.
Like, I swear to God, if you have any input,
Yeah,
on this,
exactly.
you'd be like the student who's like, teacher, you forgot to collect our homework.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you know, like
shut the fuck up.
Oh man, that's totally me. At least
yeah, that's good. I mean, I think working from home is really good, especially if you have kids that you can.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Oh no.
I mean, I guess data analysis might be a little bit hands-on and kind of like you have to work or not work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where I guess there are other BS jobs where you could just fling, you know, or wing it. I guess.
Yeah. The amount of time that I could have missed working in the office is it's actually kind of remarkable. One of the things I definitely like consider a blessing, just because, I mean, both of my kids were born within the whole pandemic period, so especially my daughter, watching her, you know, every day for the last 2 years, literally seeing everything for the last 2 years, not missing anything. It's pretty remarkable. So
Yeah.
that's awesome. I think that's one of the things that you know, makes our relationship so strong and pretty awesome. So
Cool. Do you still have you carried on any faith, religion, spirituality from your early days, or?
I would say until the kids were born, yes, which is kind of funny because you know you would want to keep it even, especially when the kids are born.
I'm dead.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. Yeah, I think once the kids were born, it was just one of those things where it's like, I don't know if I have the time to go, you know, I don't know if I have the time to go to church anymore. So, which is
true
super,
statements.
Yeah, it's super. I don't know, something I had to get used to because, you know, it's I was used to going to church, you know, every Sunday, and you know, yeah, I think over however long that it's been, 12 years since I've been out of the school. Like the first 5 years, pretty consistent, going to church every Sunday. Confession was like every 6 months, you know, starting to wane a little bit. And then the next 5 years, you know, still going to church, but confession, not really. Maybe once in the period of...
You just stopped sinning one day.
Yeah. And then once the kids arrived, it was like a cold cut. Like, oh yeah, Sunday, I'm not getting the kids or myself dressed to go to church. It's like,
my day off, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
I just had 7 days.
It's the Lord's day off. It's mine too, man.
So, but I think,
I can't break Sabbath.
I think I would. I would still consider myself. I guess a spiritual, you know,
Sure.
I do believe, I would say, just about most of the things that is, you know, written in the creed or something like that.
Sure.
It's kind of funny the way I was thinking about this the other day as well. I was like, okay, like how would I characterize? How would I sum up my, you know, my beliefs? I think. Like, I think if you were to read the entire creed, I would be set on. But I would have to add a clause at the end. Like, and it would say something like, I also believe that when the Catholic Church is so adamant about closing their doors to a certain person or people or an idea or like even the thought of, hey, I want to look into this or I want to entertain this thought or this way of thinking, then like the end of that clause would be like, I do not believe or something like that. It's just like
Yeah.
Yes, all of this, but there are still stipulations. Yeah. Yes. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's so nice.
Like a logical formula.
Oh, I love that. It's so nice to go from like Catholic to cafeteria Catholic. There's nothing better.
Yes.
Really, I mean, once you're choosing your own rules, it's so nice. Like, dude, it is. My journey to cafeteria Catholic should be like my story, dude. It's a good place to be.
Well, I don't know. It's like you're not really
Yeah.
choosing anything. You're more like you're like tasting a little bit of everything. Like I feel like if
That's a good way to put it.
in the way that you talk about like the cafeteria, Catholic, like cafeterias offer so much. I mean, the Catholics.
Dude, cafeterias are great.
Yeah, cafeterias
Yeah,
rock.
why is that an insult? Yeah, it's
I
like,
don't think it is. Like the Catholic faith is like
yeah.
a part. Like let's say breakfast, but then you have lunch and dinners. Like why don't you just explore all those? Like it, like their lunch and dinners are amazing. Like they have their own benefits.
Oh yeah. I love this. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
all about lunch and dinner, bro. I love a good lunch and dinner.
Yeah. Well, I like all meals equally.
Ah,
I'm not a hater.
you're not meal. You're not mealist.
You're not mealist.
Not a
Yes. That's a coined phrase, by the way.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Next time someone says
Like a shirt.
someone starts throwing shade at a meal or something, I'll be like, "Shame on you!
Meal.
Shame on you!" Right?
I do. It is interesting
Bigot.
though. Like,
right.
sorry, no.
Yeah. Spencer, you're going to derail the riff? Come on, man.
No,
Come on.
not gonna do that. Not gonna do that. That's too good.
And you get canceled over Twitter for being a mealist.
Be great.
Your old tweets dig up, like they dig up your old tweets where you're like, tea time is bullshit. And they're like, oh man. Well, okay. You're just in a dark place.
He went. Yeah, he just went to a dark place.
Guys, he's in a dark place right now.
He's busy writing the ending of the Creed right now.
Sorry,
I didn't
about
really
that.
understand the ending. To be fair, I need to,
It's okay.
I liked it though. I liked it.
We were
I,
making jokes.
No, I had to use the restroom. Sorry.
And the good thing is this podcast isn't going to be visual, so no one's going to, like, we were talking about, like, you're in a dark place or whatever. People are going to be like, what? Where? How'd they get that out of this?
Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, I figured the sound of me relieving myself would not be.
Oh, actually, that would have been prime material, but it's okay if you want to keep your privacy.
We could have
yeah.
put it on the Patreon.
We're gonna add the sound effect of someone
There
peeing.
you
I'm
go.
gonna record that
There you
later.
Just make it extra long.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
a solid 2.5
30 minutes.
Exactly. Be impressed. That's hilarious.
Yeah. Change the rhythm of it too. Like
There you
make
go.
a little staccato
Yeah,
and
okay.
yeah, make it interesting. So you said you weren't very bookish, but could you choose a subject or a teacher that was your favorite?
Oh yeah. I think for me, Mr. Dunlap takes the cake, and
What'd he teach?
he taught quite a few things. He taught beginners, Latin, a little bit of history, English. I mean, I feel like my first year, he taught.
He
Just
basically
about
did everything your
everything.
first year.
Yeah. I think my first year there was Dunlap, Hobbs, Wadley didn't.
Was
come
Murphy
in
there?
until, like, Murphy was like the second half of the second.
Was it
year.
your second year? I can't remember.
Yeah, but we also had what's his name, Villasenor, but he was only there for like
James
the first-
Villasenor.
Yeah, he was only there for like 2 months, I think. Like, he left really quick, and then all of his positions were taken by Dunlap. Yeah, it was like Dunlap, Hobbs, Mr. Wadley. I don't remember like any other teachers. I think it was just those three.
That was
Yeah.
pretty much it for would have been your first year.
Yeah, I
'Cause
think.
then- Chance came in.
Yeah, that's right. Chance came in. Yeah, Chance came in even after Wadley, so he was at the end or the beginning of the third year. Or something.
He was at the end of it.
Yeah,
Then Murphy,
and then Murphy came in.
and then we had
as well.
Brother Paul. Not
That's
Father Paul
right.
Silva.
Yeah, Father Paul kind of took quite a bit. But yeah, my favorite teacher, hands down, was Mr. Dunlap. I just remember like he was, not only was he extremely smart and wise, which, you know, it's hard to come by an individual who has, you know, an adequacy in both. Like, he was very smart, but he was also very wise. But he could relate
He's down to
at least
earth.
to me. Yeah, he was so relatable. Yeah, I remember when we did the the plays like Shakespeare. I forget
The academies.
Yeah, the academies and all that. I remember this one time, you know, and he did this before every presentation, before we were actually performing it to a live audience. Like, he did the same thing. He would say, "All right, everybody, look at me and pretend like we're in a, you know, in a live setting here." And then he would do this weird like shake gig kind of thing just to get our nerves out. But to see whatever 50-some-year-old man do this weird jig in front of, you know, what were we, like 13, 14 years old? It was like, all right, like this guy's cool. Like, you know, like he's legit. Like he's awesome. He cares about us. But yeah, that was one of the things I really appreciated about him. And then the other cool thing that I really liked about him, he was so freaking funny. Like, oh my god, so freaking funny. I remember we used to do these things where we would try to learn, you know, different vocabulary words and trying to increase our vocabulary and all that. And this guy was just so quick-witted and like so funny. Every word on this vocabulary list, he had turned into some really smart pun. And I can remember like what the words actually meant, but I could tell you the pun for it. And there was this one word, rife, R-I-F-E. Again, couldn't tell you what it means, but the pun was he was like, rife, like a good froof. And it was like, what the fuck? Like, I remember that being so funny back in the day. It's like, man, this guy is just, he's on fire. But yeah, he was,
Yeah.
there were many levels of you know, many different reasons why I was so impressed with him. I'll actually tell you this one story too. It kind of, no. It was an interesting.
We can bleep anything or edit
Yeah.
anything out if needed.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
nothing
yeah.
to bleep out. I was just like trying to
We can beep it out.
say it in the best way possible. But okay, so Jacob, do you remember Brother Darren Backstrom?
Very much so.
Oh man,
Yes.
talk about another character I could go on for days. But Brother Darren Backstrom was probably one of the most competitive individuals that I've ever met. And I was extremely competitive back in the day as well. And for whatever reason, my encounter with him was just like two alpha males trying to you know, size one up. And I always wanted to have the last word whenever I was talking with Father Darren. And now, first of all, Brother Darren is like 6'8", you know. He's just a
6'8",
monster.
6'9",
They're all like
something
that.
like that.
Yeah.
And I was like 5'5", you know, like not even full grown yet, but like I was small compared to him. And I just felt like a chihuahua at some points, you know, like walking up to a man, just like, yeah, I'll show you who's boss. And he just looked down and be like, really? Like, who even are you?
Get out of here.
So the way that these two personalities come together, he being so competitive, I being so competitive, I wanted absolutely any edge to take, you know, Brother Darren. Anything that I could do to get one up on him, I was taking it. And my shot just came, and it was perfect. So the brothers, like Brother Darren, Brother Paul, Brother I think maybe Christopher Kilhorn was
Brother
there
Brian.
still. Brother Brian. So all of the assistants that were there were playing basketball against the teachers. And that was, Mr. Dunlap, Mr. Hobbs, Mr. Wadley. So, like, it was literally youth versus the old guys, like the old teachers and everything. And, like, there's no excuse for the youth, these young guys not to cream like the teachers who are in their 60s, who've had, numerous kids, who have a job but that doesn't pay well, like just like all these things stacked against these older gentlemen. And I remember I was standing in front of the gym doors in the first gym, watching through this tiny sliver of a window, and I see Brother Darren just going up for a dunk, and this teacher, Mr. Dunlap, who was like 6'1", 6'2", nowhere near
He's a big guy himself.
Yeah, nowhere near the athleticism that Brother Darren had. I see this, and it was beautiful, guys. Mr. Dunlap came up, just stuffed the shit out of Brother Darren. I mean, it was glorious. Like, you could hear, like, there was like a sound wave that projected from the power behind this man's hand. And I knew right there, like, that was my moment. Like, I have Brother Darren topped for the rest of eternity. So, like, later on, a couple of days later, I was like doing dishes for some stupid thing that I did or something. I don't remember. So they had me doing dishes, and Brother Darren came in. He just started like talking shit to me, and I was like, I'm gonna say it. He's like, yeah, well, at least I'm not getting stuck by a 60-year-old, like skinny, like
English teacher.
skinny ankled English teacher. And he was just like, that? And he was pissed. Like, I remember, like, at the end of it, I felt bad because, like, he took it so bad. That's how much of a competitor he was. He took it.
He was very prideful when it came to the sports.
But yeah, I had him. Job well done. But also, like, I felt bad because it was almost too well done.
You verbally stuffed him.
Yeah,
sounds like
it was,
the kill was too clean.
Yeah. Oh, those were some dynamic characters during my time at the.
It's almost cartoonish though. Just imagining you peeking in,
I know,
being like, "Ooh,"
no,
and then just seeing
was.
a stuff. Like, couldn't have been
That's
perfect,
awesome.
more perfect.
But it was just so funny the way that happened. Yeah. Those are definitely some good memories.
Wow.
But yeah, Brother Darren, man, talk about an individual who just, not only was he extremely confident, but he of all people could really back that confidence. I mean, he was just good at everything. Basketball, soccer, surprisingly gifted at soccer. Beast on the ice. Hockey, he was a fucking beast on the ice.
Was he in Cornwall at all?
I think so.
At any point?
I think so.
Because that's the only way that Legionaries were good at hockey if they weren't from Canada or Michigan.
I forget where.
Well, he's from. He's
You making
from
fun of
that.
Matt
Oh, he's from
Midwest.
Minnesota.
Oh, that's right.
He's
Yeah.
from
Right.
Minnesota,
He's from
right?
Yeah. So
They're from Minnesota. Yeah.
He was probably used to the ice.
But I don't remember Morgan being very good at hockey. So maybe it was just him. Maybe he played.
I
as a
think
kid or
Morgan was
something.
just. He sounds like. I think Morgan was just as competitive. I just don't know if he had kind of the same coordination.
Yeah, I think.
But it's
No.
also crazy to be that good at so many sports being 6'8".
Yeah.
Like, to be
Yeah,
on
Yeah.
skates
exactly.
at
I think that's what
6'8"
Morgan
just
struggled.
is insane.
He could have got some scholarships. Basically, is what we're
For
saying.
sure.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, for sure.
Is he still in the Legion?
No, he's been out
He's-
for a
He's
while.
married with kids.
He's
We
married
need to
and
get
has
him on.
kids.
Ask him if he got a scholarship for it.
Yeah.
I've
He's
tried.
got a few kids. Yeah, he's got at least 3, right?
I don't know how many kids.
Yeah, I
Portland
think I'm good
Matters.
right
No,
now.
he has some. Yeah.
He has 3.
Yeah. There's multiple. There are multiple. That's all I know. There's at least 2.
His kid game
Possibly
is as
3.
strong as his sports game.
Exactly.
Yeah. He outdid you. He's outdoing you and
outdoing
kids.
me.
That's you got to step up, Giovanni.
I think y'all need to step up now and
Now I gotta
Yeah, both of you.
have 2 more kids. You know.
You guys have just reinvigorated this fire that I thought was dead for many years.
Yeah, you're like, dang, I thought I was done. Now, brother Darren's one up me.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
Actually, wait.
Just-
Maybe I can solve this right now. Does Mr. Dunlap have 4 kids? Because then you don't have to worry about it.
Oh, I think he's got a couple kids of his own. I think he adopted a couple as well.
He adopted,
You're fine.
and the kid he adopted
Oh,
You can
was
just
already
hold that over brother
a
Darren's
stud.
Oh, really?
Played football in college.
That's
Pretty
the only
sure.
reason he adopted him. He wanted a stud
Or
on his team.
lacrosse.
Right.
On the
Yes.
backstream team.
Blindside all over.
They take him to the adoption agency. He's like, I don't think that kid can ball. I don't want him in my family.
Yeah. That's hilarious.
Sorry, I did a little mid-pod research just to check, and he has 4 kids at least, as of 2021.
Per his latest Christmas card.
Yeah, so he's really putting up numbers.
I love that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Do y'all do the Christmas card with your families? Is that you send that out to all your relatives? Is that the generation before us
I think it's
Yeah, that died.
that died? Okay.
Yeah.
My mom still does it, so I just
I mean, good for her.
time
I
to
mean,
jump in the pumpkin patch so we can have some Christmas pictures again.
yeah, good for her.
I'm thinking of going to a dog park and just dressing someone's dog up as Santa and sending that to my family this year.
Do
Just
it.
being like, it's someone's dog. I don't know.
It's on my Tinder profile too, but
Yeah.
That's the way things are going, though.
Okay, so we
nowadays.
have a
You just take advantage.
Yeah,
of
yeah,
everything at your
well.
disposal.
yeah. That's the only way to get those swipes, baby.
Exactly.
Trust me. Players gotta play. That's all I'm gonna say. It's, hey, I'm sorry I don't look like my picture,
Yeah.
but I'm not George Clooney.
The ballers,
Like, you fell for it.
The ballers world. Gotta be quick.
they see you get out of your Toyota Corolla and they're like, "Damn,
Yeah.
you put entrepreneur in your bio. I thought you were gonna be rich."
I'm just starting.
I didn't know BMW made a hatchback with no power locks. Wow.
That's hilarious. So, where are you guys at? James, Spencer, are you in California or?
Oh no, you would think
I wish.
with all the liberal bullshit we push out, but no, we're
James is furthest from it.
I'm in, but I will say I'm in the part of New York very hit or miss. You don't really know
Okay.
because there are a lot of like old rich white people here, so it can go Republican, it can go Democrat. You never know. But I play a character. I don't believe any of the things I
There
say.
you
That's a little
And
that's a
I'm in
little
Houston.
homage. Anyway,
I'm in Houston,
go.
so
Anonymous.
for now.
Houston.
yeah, but I'm unemployed, so I mean, I could end up anywhere in the I could end up in Guanajuato. We just don't really know what's happening. Right
He's
now.
gonna.
I'm gonna
end up
spread
in
these episodes
Philippines.
where he admits.
Dude, the number of times that I've been employed in my life, like, I feel like I could make a full-time job of being unemployed and just like encouraging other unemployed people. It's
Mhm.
like, hey, you'll be all right. It's just like
Being unemployed,
It's like-
being unemployed is harder than having a hard job.
Yeah.
Like having a hard job, at least you have the satisfaction of saying, "Okay, I know where I'm going to eat.
right.
I know I'm going to be able to eat." Whereas when you're unemployed, you're working. You're doing all this work, you're spending all this time and dedicating all this energy, and at the end of the day, you're like,
I'm not kidding.
I hope I get a job.
Exactly.
Yeah, you see that dresser? It was like that before I was unemployed. So
he
it's only going
He
to
was-
get worse.
he was wasting money. He was wasting
Yeah.
money the whole time.
I was.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, that dresser has been broken, I think, for the whole podcast.
That's hilarious. Wait,
On
actually-
move-in day. I think I've already told this story, but no, wait. What?
Oh, I was gonna ask. Do you guys like? I know you guys do the recordings, but do you guys do the like the video feed as well,
Like on YouTube?
or like on Spotify or
Or-
something? Because it would be neat to see people's faces and people's reaction on these.
Yeah, I'm trying. So this particular software has been a little bit glitchy.
Okay.
I've tried to do video, and usually gets out of sync, and it's like a nightmare to actually put together.
Okay.
But I've been testing out different platforms too, so hopefully I land on something that can get the job done. I do like the video podcast experience because sometimes people have the ability to watch it. Some people just listen. So for now, we're focusing on listening.
Yeah.
But
Well, I gotta say, you guys
actually, if this one,
you guys are doing like,
I don't know if this one's recording.
oh no, that's all right. I was gonna say you guys are doing like phenomenal. I've been listening to some of the casts that you guys have already recorded and put out there on Spotify, and I get such a kick listening from some of these stories, like Evan Govea, Pickett, Stewart, even Ramon and Wills the other day. Man, they brought out some stories that I was like, oh man, I wish I was on this thing right now. I could just tell stories as well. But yeah, great on you guys. Like, well done.
Thank you. Well, it takes a few of us to get this done.
It takes a legion to get us done.
Yeah,
it takes a legion to make a podcast.
Exactly.
I just think of that Bible passage where the demon says, "We are legion."
Yeah, that's the only time legion is really mentioned in the Bible.
Yeah,
in the New
it's
Testament.
not good.
It's never
the legionaries are stabbing Jesus to death, or they're demons. Yeah, nothing else is good.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, we appreciate all the feedback is appreciated.
Yeah, no, like
I appreciate it the most though, so don't message Spencer or Jacob telling them how good the podcast is.
And me and Jacob aren't the ones. Yeah, me and Jacob aren't the ones editing anything. We're just mooching off of James's efforts. So.
No, but you guys show up. Hey, like I said, it takes all of us to make a podcast, and guests, and guests too.
This is a lot of fun. That's really great. I was telling Jake when I was talking to him a couple days ago. I mean, if you guys need, anyone to come on at any time, I'd be more than happy. Just let me know, and I'm there. Especially like if you want to collaborate with like Stewart or multiple different people.
Oh yeah, we could do
that.
We could even do like a Shaz episode where it's just Shaz people talking.
That'd be cool.
That could turn into some wild stuff. But man, speaking of
a lot of stories that hadn't been said yet could happen.
Oh my gosh.
I'm down for that. I'm down for that.
I'm definitely down for that.
Yes.
Yeah, and well, I mean, Spencer, you can only watch it. You can't.
Well, yeah.
We're not gonna participate.
Exactly.
It's gonna be a Shaz.
Why'd you assume I thought that I was gonna be recording? You think I forgot what school I went to?
Hey man, it's hard out there.
I'm unemployed. I can't remember anything. I lost my memory. God damn it. I'm out here in Mexico. I can't remember anything.
Spencer, I'm going to spread out all the times you say you're unemployed over over the next year, so people think you're unemployed for like a year.
I become an ex-legionary version of Jason Bourne, just lost all my memory.
Yeah.
You trace it back.
Pulling things out.
Exactly. Tracing it back.
Yeah. Are you a fan of that franchise, the Bourne franchise? You like that?
Oh, heck yeah.
Hell yeah.
That stuff is amazing. You know how many times...
The only movie we got to watch.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the only cool movie we got to watch in the Legion.
Yeah, true. I watch it all the time.
Jono got to see it first, so whenever that first scene came on, he was like, "Oh, this is the Bourne." I was like, "How do you know that already? It's been 2 seconds into the movie." He's like, "Oh, I've seen it already." Ah, fuck you, Jono.
Oh, Casino?
Yeah.
Edited it for us.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Oh, so he got to see the bad parts too.
He watches all the sex scenes multiple times, and then
yeah.
edits it out.
I just gotta check and make sure this is the bad part.
You've been editing for 7 hours. What's going on?
You're only editing a 35-second clip. What the heck?
You don't understand the dynamic.
This is just
Don't come in here.
Not while I'm doing my art.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
Because I always thought the Legionaries did it themselves. Because I was like, we can't be trusted with that kind of power.
Yeah.
But I guess Shaz had different operating procedures. They didn't have the infrastructure to edit their own videos.
Don't worry, Father. I'll do it for you.
I do wonder who did it for Icus though, because I don't know if the territory did it.
I'm putting it on Brendan. Brendan Matthews did it. That's my vote.
Matthews Brendan.
Machos.
I think we only had like one
so
computer.
Bad. I'm kidding.
There's only like one computer in the school that could edit videos, and I don't even, maybe not. I don't even know.
Brendan Matthews,
I'm talking to my ass now.
Was he the singer? Like, was he the guy with the really good voice?
No.
He was the barber.
No. He was the barber.
Thinking of someone else.
And he had
He
an
gave
encyclopedia.
really bad haircuts, bro. Really bad.
He tried though. He tried.
He
In
tried his
his
best.
defense, he
I mean,
tried.
who's gonna give a good haircut at Icus?
Yeah, what kind of 15-year-old is going to give a good haircut on their first
Yeah,
try?
that was kind of rude of me. I shouldn't have said
Or they're
that.
1,000.
That motherfucker didn't do my hair well. Like, what the? That's rude.
Yeah,
I
yeah. There were
didn't
no,
mean to say that.
there were no girls around anyway, so it was like,
Yeah.
who cares? But like, get your hair nice for your boys, like.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so I guess we're wrapping up. I say that we could be talking for another hour.
The
Alright.
condo's been on for a while.
Do you
Spencer
have
wants to
any
leave, but
stories that you want to share?
yeah, do you have anything? Do you have anything that you're just itching to
your
get out? Any
Fondest
blood you want to boil?
memories, your worst memories,
Your
just
any
stuff
hatred
that you want to
yeah,
put the story
Hang on.
straight of what happened.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Shaz related. I don't know, like
or
I
not,
think-
or just anything.
Or not.
The
No,
way y'all said that.
just your
I
opinion.
think, yeah. I mean, like I said, my experience was primarily positive. Really, I mean, I take just about everything that I've learned there, all the people, especially, they hold a pretty dear place to my heart. But I think some of the stories I'll tell you is going to take after Shaz. It's going to take place after Shaz. But I spent a good deal with Stuart after Shaz. There were a few years after he had left the Legion that he and I had really kicked it. And I don't know. He may have told you some of these stories or whatever, but I think they're worth telling. Like this one year, I forget the year. But this one summer, we had seen each other every weekend for like 2.5 months straight, and it was like one of those weekends, one of those summers where the Shaz reunion had taken place. We were going to go back to the Sacred Heart to visit all the guys, but at the same time, like I said, I was kind of in and out of jobs, so I had the freedom to, go visit Stuart in Chicago, and he was, bouncing back and forth between Chicago and Philly at that point. So I went to see him in Chicago one week, and then the next week I went to Philly to go see him, and then the following week, like, he came to my house in Akron, and then we went out to Shaz, and I think we went out to, like, Dayton to see Amancho and everything. So we had got to see each other a lot this one year. But the story that I want to tell is it happened in a gentleman's club in Philly, I think it was. It was either Philly. I don't know. We went to so many, so I think this one was Philly. But Stuart and I, we walked in. First of all, this place was like not even in the ghetto. Like if there was like an isolated corner within the ghetto, that's where this place was at. Like it was so rinkety. Like you thought you were.
It was dark.
Just walking. Yeah, it was terrible. Like I was scared legitimately. But then you walk in, you see, the buffet before you. It's like, okay, this isn't too bad. But anyway, so we walk in there, and one of the first things that we do is we basically like empty our accounts at that time. Like we just like, okay, we're gonna just ball out here. Like, so what if we can't get home? Like we're just gonna do it here. So like we withdraw some money and we start chatting it up with some of these strippers, and we actually ended up like singing in 2-part harmony. Like I want to say it was like Beyonce or something. Like we just started,
Oh, no.
started singing in 2-part harmony to these strippers, and they were digging it, dude. Like we were just like,
They were like, "Oh, they're gay."
yeah, they probably thought that.
Christus fish.
Exactly. But like they were digging it, and we were just like, feeling ourselves and all that, and
That's awesome.
it was
bro.
pretty neat, the reaction. But then after that, we you know how most strip clubs, they have like these private rooms or whatever. He and
I have no idea. Sorry.
well, we went to like these.
That's
Not even kidding.
Oh, really?
Not even kidding. No, I've never been.
Really?
Anyway, I find them repulsive. But go
The
ahead.
strip club.
It sounds like fun, but not for me.
Yeah, it was. I think most of them. I don't know. Maybe some don't, but most of them had like these VIP rooms or guest rooms or something where you can get like private dances. And Stuart and I, we go out and we get one of these. Exactly. We go out and get these private rooms with two of these ladies, and like we just didn't know what to do with ourselves. Like we had so many things going on at once, and I ended up getting like pink eye from one of them because I rubbed against something, and it just wasn't like it wasn't the cleanest area. So. But yeah, I ended up.
Oh no!
Yeah, not only did I end up like serenading some fine ladies that night, but I ended up contracting like pink eye from one of them, and then it was.
Who knows what else?
Exactly.
Yeah, and what else? Yeah, you have to get tested.
Pink eye.
Exactly. It definitely
Yeah,
those
yeah. That's when mucus comes out of your penis, right? That's
Genital warts.
Oh man.
right.
Involuntary, right? Involuntary mucus.
Yeah. No, honey, that's normal.
Exactly.
Oh.
I don't think you need to get tested. We're married.
Yeah, that was a good time.
I'm sorry. Continue.
That was a good time, though. We had a good time there, and I don't know.
That's cool,
he
man.
might have
That
told
sounds
you
fun.
about Champ from Philly as well. Just
I don't think so.
local Philly drunk that goes to all the bars that you happen to go to that night. He was there, and like I said, he was just like one of the people that went there probably every night. I mean, all the waitresses and waiters, even the other regulars knew him, and he was a character, dude. This guy was. I felt bad for him, but also like I realized he's probably just living the best life. Like this guy, talk about being completely incoherent and just roasted out of your mind, and just still able to partially function, in somewhat of a society. It's like, wow, it was kind of encouraging. It's like, okay, if I could at least go that far. Like, if I ever think that I'm, down in the dumps or something, like I could take it a little bit more and be like the Champ that we saw in Philly. But anyways, this guy was just toasted out of his mind, just drunk, and he had this impression that any order was like a top secret, like super hush hush. And so whenever he would order another drink, he would lean over the counter, like just ever so slightly, and like try to get the attention of the bartender, just without anyone having to look. And he would whisper his order, but when he was whispered, because he was already toasted out of his mind, it just came out like a scramble of words, like not even words, just a scramble of sounds. And like it was just the funniest thing. Stuart and I found so comical. And to this day, every time Stuart and I are in a bar together, we always toast one to Champ. And he had this call, like just a random call that he would do, and it sounded like, oh, like that's what he would do. Like every a minute or two, he would just do this, oh, for no reason. So like every time Stuart and I are in a bar now, we always throw one back to him and make that sound and remember the good old Champ from Philly. But
It's pretty cool.
yeah,
That's funny.
That's crazy. But that man would have been a prophet 3,000 years
sure.
ago. Let's be honest.
He was just as inspiring to me as Mr. Dunlap was. Like,
In his own way, right?
Right? Everyone, right? Exactly. Same with that stripper. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. She was just doing her job
Doing the best that she could. A little too well.
For two gay men who came in
Exactly.
and did a little duet.
That's hilarious. We had a couple. Man, there was this other time we were in.
I can just imagine. I'm sorry. Their clientele. If we can just go back to the strippers for a second.
Let's do it.
Like
Always.
I've got to imagine that like the clientele for strippers are not like the top notch. Like a lot of them have to be like frat kind of like douchebags.
That would be my guess.
And then to just get two innocent young men singing to you
Exactly.
in harmony, being like, I mean, maybe they're straight, but who cares? Like, this is beautiful. Like,
No, I remember.
this is how the ancients envisioned the utopia of the future.
Yeah.
Men would just serenade sex workers.
We
Yes.
brought it back to the original form. Like back.
Can you imagine how annoying? No, keep
I
going.
was gonna say back in the day when like this profession first started, like these horny men were just doing anything. Like they're probably just doing
sure.
fucking
Yeah.
anything.
Socrates
Yeah.
just like,
Yeah, exactly.
what is sex? As he's like banging her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Socrates liked little boys, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, I think he had a problem.
Yeah. He had issues.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, what
Yeah,
is consent?
We call it Epstein issues.
Is consent given subconsciously?
Yeah.
Right?
Is it-
Like, yes, she's not awake right now. Is she?
Sexy Socrates, that's our new character.
God.
Just giving sex advice is like completely just like awful. Like as a pickup artist, like Socrates walking around being like, "Yo, so you want to get this bitch? All you gotta do is just like knock her out." It's like, Socrates, what are you talking about? That's assault. Like you can't do that. It's like, it's Greece, bitch. Like I don't know what he would say, but
And then
anyway.
Plato's like the PR manager. He's like, oh, we'll call that the eternal form.
There you go. Yes.
Plato's like making him sound better than he is.
What else did you do as Stu? I'm sorry, I cut you off specifically.
Yeah, me
my
too,
fault.
sorry.
But no, well, it was me. It was really
Oh, okay.
me.
Yeah, it was you. It was you for sure.
Because I am toasted right now, but
Nice.
I love it.
There was this
These
other
stories are
time.
really funny.
There was this other time. We were actually in Rolling Prairie at this time. In Michigan City, they have this like outdoor bar. It was like a 3-tier deck looking thing. It was kind of nice, but we were at one of the levels there, and I don't know why people approached Stuart and I, but this guy approached us with the absolute wildest like offer. Like this guy was with what I assumed was his girl, and he was like, "You guys want to take her for like $50?" And he was like legitimately selling what I thought was his girlfriend to us. It's like, dude, I mean, no, she wasn't particularly attractive.
Yes. No kidding.
I remember like
Sure.
Yeah.
we both took a look at each other and like we're thinking about it, but like
You bargained. You're like, no, 25.
she wasn't a particularly like attractive female. So I feel like in our minds it was like,
Sure.
this isn't the way we want it to go. Like, yes, on another time, if she was a little, more refined and all that.
Yeah.
But if we're gonna do this at some point in our lives, this is not the time to do it, especially with this particular individual. So, but yeah, I remember that. That was just one of those things. I was like, wow, you random person. Like we have been talking to you for like 5 minutes, and you want to.
You're propositioning
you're
your wife.
propositioning your girl. Okay.
Damn,
Yeah,
that's
I
wild.
think. I mean, it could be swingers,
Yeah,
could be
be.
cucks.
But
I
would
mean,
swingers charge? Would swingers charge
Yeah,
you?
that's the other
that's
thing.
the only thing that makes it kind of weird. Like the
Yeah.
or not. Wait, was he charging or paying?
No, he was charging.
And was she just
Oh.
like cool with that too? Like, yeah,
Oh.
No, I don't know
Oh,
if she
okay.
had, like, I feel like when
I think that's something where they would try and frame you or
Yeah.
like blackmail you
it was weird.
into paying more.
Yeah. But I remember it was like not. It
I
was
wouldn't
like
go
50
for it.
bucks. It was like not that much. which
Yeah, that's why I
which
wouldn't go
thought
for
was
it.
kind of
It's too good
funny
to be
because
true.
it's like, wait, you think this little of whoever it is that you're with, like that $50 is the absolute limit. It's like, okay.
hey, you got to pay your AT&T bill one way or another. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
you know,
Exactly.
these times get rough.
Especially Michigan City, they probably don't have good reception, so they're just
Imagine that
Pinching
conversation
dimes.
with her that morning. He's like, "Honey,
yeah.
yeah." He's like, "Honey,
exactly.
we gotta pay the bills.
Oh,
Man.
that's hilarious.
Let's walk the streets a little bit."
Let's see what else, man.
Yeah, that's actually really interesting because you probably encountered a human trafficking incident, which, to be fair, I would have no idea what to do in that situation. Like, because even if I wanted to say no, and I'm like, I don't, like, is this someone who's going to kill me? Like, is this a dangerous
Right.
person? Like, I have no idea
There's a lot involved.
what's about to
here.
happen. And, like, does this woman need help?
Right.
Is she, like, was she kidnapped? Is she being forced to do this?
Huh. Oh,
Ugh,
very weighted.
that would scare me.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Luckily,
interesting. Time.
we can just hope it was a swinger thing that they just were needed, like, you know, $50,
Right.
$100 for their next fix.
Hilarious.
Let's just that's what we'll
That's
say
our
it is.
story. We'll stick with
That's
it.
our story. We're
Exactly.
that's the reports are coming in and it's true. Okay.
I was there that night. I remember those fellas.
It's true. I was the woman.
Exactly.
That's why they said no. They're like, he looks familiar.
I don't know how I stumbled on this podcast,
Oh.
but I was there. That's hilarious.
Yeah, we have live callers now.
That would be awesome.
Oh dang. Well, Stewart's a lot of fun. You know, we were only in 2 summer programs together, I think, technically, and then like candidacy for part of it. But like I felt like I knew him the whole time, kind of thing. Just like 'cause
Yeah.
he had been to ICUS, he knew what ICUS was about, and then he went to Shaz and he knew what Shaz was about, and then he knew what Cheshire was about too. So it's like he knew all the steps, and like
Yeah.
it's like you can just talk to anyone like that.
Did you guys have a sense of? I don't know. Was there any sense when you guys talked about Shaz from the standpoint of being ICUS members? Because Shaz, I feel like we had a little thing, you know. Like there's a little rivalry, not rivalry, but there was some stuff that Shaz individuals would insinuate about ICUS.
Like not
Look,
jealousy.
how
but
did
kind of
y'all
like,
view us?
Yeah, how did you guys view Chaz?
I didn't really have any opinion because I'd never been there.
Yeah, same.
But I knew the guys who went there
Mhm.
to start it, and I liked them. So I was like, it's probably cool. I mean, I thought it would probably suck to start a school because so many things are like in flux. But for some people, it works.
Yeah.
I liked the discipline and the weird kind of cultish practices of ICUS. I mean, they weren't great. They were probably destructive, but at the same time, you know, there were great things about ICUS too. That, you know,
Yeah.
I don't like the hikes were so nice that sometimes I wonder what it would have been like without them. Like I can't imagine being in Indiana.
Yeah.
Like that was one of the only things that were like I was like, dang, I like they don't have hikes like this. They have hikes. Like I knew you guys had hikes. They had told me about the dunes. Like I knew that at ICUS actually, and you know other things. But I was like, that would just to me that would get like I wouldn't find that fun, because I'm not a fun person. You know, I'm sure you could find it fun. Like it sounds like a great time, but like we had a different mountain every week.
I mean, how fun is a sand dune compared to a mountain? I mean, let's be honest.
It's not.
You know.
I mean, I don't want to.
Even the Shaz
No,
people
but
are
really,
like,
I don't want to shit on it because
I do.
because the same.
I do.
because you had
shit on them all day.
but
I did.
the fundamental experience, the fundamental experience of the hike itself, where you're being like a brother, like with your brothers, you know, like that is the same.
Yeah.
The environment was different, but the overall experience was the same. Where
The amount of
the weather might be shitty, but we're going out, like,
I think,
and
like,
we're all going to be together.
I think at ICUS we have to take what we can get because Shaz had so much freedom we didn't have.
Yeah.
Like they could literally, they were out there just felling trees, and we were like studying our asses off. Like we got to take what we can get, you
That's
know.
true.
We had to,
And we had our own-
silence.
we
Was
had our-
silence. Like you had to be silent.
We had our own chores too. Like we had, or not chores, but like specific tasks. Like we
Yeah,
built.
they called it
the top-
housework.
Yeah.
Well, not housework. I mean,
what they call
like
it for us, too.
extracurricular activities, like building the forts and building the top field.
Oh, yeah.
Like we actually had
that was
manual
fun.
labor projects. It was fun,
They
but it was
they
also
had more
like
manual labor than we did, though. They were like
yeah, but you
they
guys
were
got out of
clearing
class
out
sometimes
villages
for it,
and
right?
stuff.
Like
They were, you know, burning churches and stuff. You know, they were
Oh
just
my God.
clearing out property.
That,
yeah,
man, there's so many.
they destroyed half of Michigan.
They did.
We did.
Oh yeah, you
name
guys did that in the
there.
parks. Like
Michigan,
you like
what?
lit stuff on fire,
Put
right?
that name on there. That's
Father
for sure.
Bayeris got kicked out of a state park, right?
Almost.
Did he get fined too?
No.
He said, "What's this? I'm gonna throw it out. I
Wrong.
don't care. This
I'm
is paper.
surprised
This is
that-
paper from the
yeah,
town.
I'm
Doesn't matter."
surprised that there were no more.
Mr. Byers, you need to leave. Oh, get arrested.
I'm surprised that no more fines were actually like submitted to us because there were definitely moments where the school could have, you know, been fined and all that.
Dude, same at ICUS, man. We did a lot of stuff that was questionable for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Gio, do you remember?
And we did a lot of stuff to piss people off.
Gio, do you remember when was it Brother Kevin would take us on the random hikes through the woods? Like he'd start us on like the super far side of the dunes, and we'd have to hike through, and we ended up cutting trees down in the middle of the woods to build fires. Like, yeah, it's definitely illegal.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
No, we did.
Like, who's this guy taking
I-
12, 14-year-olds through the woods?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh my god.
No, it's okay. I know them.
exactly.
Old Socrates back at it.
But those made some of like the absolute best hikes.
Best memories, though.
The absolute best memories.
Yeah, yeah.
No, dude, I remember. Dude, Jacob, you know Mark Baumgartner, right? Like, you can't forget a character like that. Dude, Mark Baumgartner. And
I know
we had
him well.
some stories, too. But there's this one time.
Y'all are always leaving the group.
Yeah, we were. Do you remember that one? Like, I don't even know if it was a benefactor.
Wait, the two of you together were?
Or no, Mark and I were like, we became really close pals. But
What are you doing? Like kissing?
you know, we're doing all
No.
that stuff. No. But
Just wondering.
They're duetting.
Sorry.
They're duetting.
no, we were.
Anyway.
we were just like, I don't know. Mark was a unique character, and I appreciated him a lot because he was one of those characters who he was really smart. He was really logical, but he didn't really take shit from the fathers or the brothers. Like, if he wanted to do something and it wasn't like in line with what the fathers said, he was just gonna do it because there was no danger.
There's no consequences.
Yeah, there was no consequences. There was no danger. No one's gonna get hurt. That was his mentality, which provided some amazing times. So this one time, Jake, do you remember going to this benefactor's house like on the lake? It was like one of the only times we went there.
Yep.
He like lived on the lake or something.
Yep.
Anyways,
did.
like this lake was
Where they're going to give us points for swimming across the lake for whatever
Yeah, or
competition
something
we
like
were
that.
in.
yeah.
Some
And,
bullshit.
That sounds dangerous.
Mark and I,
It was.
right after lunch, we decided to swim across the lake. And it was a good swim. I would say like there and back was probably a mile and a half. Like it was a good swim. It was a good distance. We did that.
Yep.
We swam across the lake and swam back. No one said anything when we got back. You know, everything was as normal. We went on to our normal shenanigans when we were there. When we got back to the house, Father Kevin, or Brother Kevin at that point, Mackenzie, took both of us like aside from the group and like started questioning us about it. And oh my god, it was some of the funniest things I've ever heard. So Brother Kevin's like, "Do you guys want to apologize for anything? Like, thinking about in the last 24 hours, is there anything at all that you guys want to apologize for?" And like, Mark and I are just sitting there like, no. Like, what would we apologize for? In the back of my mind, I had a feeling that he was talking about the swim, but I'm not going to say it because I wasn't sorry about it. And so like we said no, and then Kevin, you know, Brother Kevin's like, "Are you sure? Not even when we were at the lake?" And then Mark, in a straight face, said the most iconic Mark thing that could ever be said. In a straight face, he looks at Brother and he says, "You know what? I could have been more charitable with the amount of ketchup that I took, but next time I will let others use the ketchup before I use it for myself." And it was like so like he didn't blink, he didn't face, he honestly didn't think anything was wrong. And so he like took the time to think about it, and he's like, "You know what? You're right. The ketchup. It could have been more charitable with it. I couldn't have, you know, I should have not hogged all of it like I did." And I thought that was the funniest thing ever. When he said that, I actually died laughing. Like in front of Brother Kevin as he was correcting us. I just died laughing. I'm like, you know what? This guy is a freaking legend. The fact that not only does he not feel sorry for swimming across this lake, but he's trying to play ball. You know, he's like, "Okay, fine. I'll meet you at your level. I will find anything in my day to like, you know, make amends, even though like, okay, ketchup." But like, it was like,
yeah.
funniest thing ever. But Mark was a character. He was a character.
Yeah.
I mean, he was like one of the first guys that came to the school who was like just larger than life in terms of like physicality. Like we all looked like freshmen in high school, but he came in and he was like a senior, if not a freshman in college. Like he was just big, like heavy boned, like he was just clumsy. He was so strong, way stronger than the rest of us. And I remember like he would break things accidentally. Like, you know how we would line up against like, you know, just line up in the hallway, you know, with like stuff on the sides, like maybe a fire hydrant thing, or not a fire hydrant, but what are those things behind a glass case, a fire extinguisher, or like a telephone or something like that. And this guy was just like, he was in his own world. I remember this one time he was leaning against this fire extinguisher and completely caved in the case that it was in. And it was like something from a Marvel movie. It was like, he wasn't trying to do anything. Like, he wasn't being roughhoused or anything. He just simply leaned on this thing and it collapsed. Like, it caved into the wall. And I remember, like, he was one of the only people that the fathers had to, you know, verbally say, "Hey, you are just a strong individual. You need to walk with grace," or something like that. Like, because you will just break things in this house. Like,
walk with grace.
I felt bad for him, but also at the same time, yeah, you know, if I was a father back in the day and someone like him was walking in my hallways, it was like, holy shit, dude. Like, yeah, be careful. Like, don't touch the walls, because, you know, they're supportive. they need to hold the rest of this house up. Like,
yeah, chill out with the way you're walking, bro.
Yeah.
Damn. That's funny, bro.
Yeah.
Loads of characters there.
That was one nice thing about Icus, was that half of the buildings were industrial. You know, like the dorm was built like out of rock. Like
Yeah, I never got a chance.
Stalls
to
were
see it.
marble
I
or granite or
never got a
something.
chance to go to Icus. I really wish I
nice.
would have though, because I've obviously there's so many stories that went back and forth between Shaz and the people that did go, but maybe that's one of the things I can still do. I don't know if the building is still there. I'm fairly certain that it closed, right?
Yeah, it's still there.
Okay. Is it still?
They're trying to sell it.
Okay.
They're holding on to it for now. I think they're waiting for the right buyer. I don't know what exactly they're looking for. So I've been playing the Mega Millions every time, just hoping for a miracle.
Yes.
Because I'm gonna if I win, baby,
buy it?
I'm starting a nonprofit opening. Yeah, I'm gonna open that
That's
up.
hilarious.
XLCs stay for free.
Yes.
Any XLCs can go for free. LCs have to pay $20 a night.
Nice.
Yes.
Sorry, Father Byers.
Exactly. I was just
Sorry,
gonna say,
Father
Father.
Unless you listen to this podcast
There
and
you
use
go.
promo code
There you go.
co-founders.
Suck my dick. Or is it-
No, it has to
Oh
be
my
appropriate. Otherwise, they can't send it on their emails.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. Father Byers.
That's very true.
Okay, so that's the plan. Anyway,
Father B and
but you're
Deacons.
again, you're invited when that happens. When I win the
When you
Mega
win the Mega.
Millions.
I'll be looking out for that.
Because it has
too.
to be the jackpot. Otherwise, it's
Yeah.
yeah.
You won't be able to buy a building like that with just $1 million. A measly $1 million.
No. I think they're asking for 7.6.
Sheesh.
There was a 6 in there somewhere, and it's million.
That makes sense. It's a gorgeous location, great building.
Yeah, it's got a nice view of the lake too, and
Yeah.
I think they have lakefront property technically.
Oh, that's
Mhm.
awesome.
We weren't on the lake, but whatever.
Not even the winter?
Anyway,
Technicalities.
sorry. No, well, they had like a little sliver of property, but there was like a road, and there was
Oh, okay.
it was probably like a quarter mile, half a mile from the lake.
Okay.
But it was up a hill, so you could see the whole lake,
I see.
and then you would get the wind from the lake too in the winter.
Yeah, I remember
Just whip
seeing some
across the lake
pictures,
and it would be like-
and you guys had some gnarly snowstorms and winter seasons.
Yeah, we had we had a record season of snow.
Jeez.
I forgot the number, but it was an impressive number of inches of snow that we got that year, and it was like it beat all the records for New Hampshire going back like 100 years.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was a big winter. We had a few big winters, but
Damn. Yeah, I remember there was.
I'm not
a few-
complaining. We got more time.
That's crazy. That I do. I feel like my appreciation for snow hit the all time climax when I was at Shaz, just because we just utilized it more and we had the freedom to enjoy it, I guess. But now
Mhm.
I'm not much of a snow person, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I will say it's.
Yeah, I'm not able to do snowball
Yeah.
fights. I
Oh yeah,
would burn out in like 10 seconds.
yeah,
Just running through snow, the thought of it, I'm already exhausted.
yeah. No, I
I
remember
don't know
the
how
one-
we did it. That's an extreme workout.
Oh, for sure. The one year that we had some fairly, we had a lot of snow this one year, and I remember that it was like right before we were supposed to go home for Christmas visits, and like we had 2 or 3 days of freezing rain, and then snow, and then rain, and then snow. And so like by the time things started to melt, there was just a sheet of ice everywhere. And Mark and I, speaking of Mark, we actually skated, with our ice skates, the entire length of our driveway, which is like a quarter mile, and it wrapped around our whole school. I remember skating it from the very beginning to the end because it was that icy. It was actually kind of fun, but yeah, I remember it was like kind of a neat little experience that we had. But I'm sure you guys, with the amount of snow and the amount of, I mean, you guys are just that's a whole.
We had
world.
a lot of fun with the lakes. We had a bunch of lakes that would freeze over, and then we would go play hockey every weekend. We would shovel a little rink and then just play hockey. We would hike across the lakes. We'd skate across the lakes. We went skiing 3 times a year. Every year that I was there.
That's
I think
awesome.
probably the same for Spencer.
Mm-hmm.
And and then we'd play hockey a bunch. Besides times that we'd go to the park, there was a rink. And then, besides the times we play on the lake, we would, on feast days, sometimes we would go to an actual rink and play on nice ice.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember doing that.
And none of us were good besides me and a few, like, a few Michigan people, a few, like one kid from Maine, one kid from Minnesota, and then the Canadians, and that was it. Or anyone who went to Cornwall, any of the brothers who went to Cornwall.
Yeah, the rest of us were Midwestern.
Yeah, everyone else was a pylon.
We'll rope some steers for you.
Yeah. Well, I'll swing this stick at you. I'll cut you up if I could get over there.
I'll shoot you with the
it's just like all the Canadians
47 under my dorm bed.
all the fancy Canadians are just pirouetting around on the ice, being cute, and just like scoring goals at will. It was always like me and Michael Duchesne against each other, and I hated it because no. I think he's probably peeing.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going to insert the sound. But I always hate.
You were accurate about it. Sorry.
No, you don't have to apologize. This podcast is all about laissez-faire. I think that's what that means.
I'd probably better get going here. I don't know.
Oh yeah,
but
he's trying to pursue some women.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just said yeah.
He's like, yeah.
Best of luck.
Okay. Well, Giovanni, do you have anything you want to say? Hello, shout out to anyone, or I don't know,
dude. I'll give a shout out
before we go.
I'll give a shout out to Stuart. I'm gonna actually give a shout out to Evan. I actually enjoyed his podcasts, Pickett and also Ramon and Wills. Those are great. And if I can, I'd like to give a shout out to you guys as well, because like I said, you guys are doing a phenomenal job. The fact that people, with our past and our experiences, get a chance to talk about some of this stuff and relive it, dude. It's probably so therapeutic for some of us, but also just so much fun. So good job. And again,
glad you liked it.
I'm down anytime. You guys need someone else on there.
For sure. You're always
down.
You're in the network now,
yes.
Yeah. You're stuck now. You're gonna get messages that you might not like, but
you're like, guys, it's 3 a.m. Please.
It's 3 a.m. We're not recording.
I'm trying to beat brother Darren. I'm trying to beat him out. I'm busy.
I hope he hears that story that I told him. And
hey, I think he's not going to hear it unless you share it with him. So
I'm gonna have to. Yeah, I'm gonna have to.
Once the link is up, you shoot that over to him.